Hey, welcome everybody to our next Spinal workshop. I'm your host, Dr. Ryan Weaver. Today we're going to be talking about a big topic this time of the year. We even have a season for it, cold and flu season. So we're going to dive into a few of the supplements that I recommend and also what I recommend to our patients and what we've seen throughout our years in practice that help keep us safe and healthy. So again, these spinal workshops, as you know, we do these every Tuesday at 6:30. I'm getting really excited. We've closely finished up our 2024 topics. Definitely going to be a totally different kind of format, different topics, and we're going to also run some in terms of series. So we do these again because we know the biggest, most important thing I can do for patients, as well as Dr. Helms, is educate them. Why are they getting adjusted? What supplements should they be taking? What are other benefits to keep, again, our structure, our host, our body as best as it can be? So every topic, you're going to find maybe a little takeaway from each one. Again, we try to keep these videos about 8 to 10 minutes. That way, on your commute home, you can just turn this on, leave it in the background so you can learn something from a local source. But cold and flu season. A big thing about living in Ohio is, it's typically gloomy out. It's dark out. The sun's not out. So vitamin D becomes a really big thing. And really, our location in terms of where we are in reference to the equator is we're so far north that we should probably look at some sort of supplementation. Again, dosage. I'm not necessarily going to recommend a ton of dosages because I don't know your current situation. But with your primary physician, that is something that you should be aware of and have checked on a regular blood screening. So sunlight is a very important thing. Again, during warmer months, we're typically outside, we're away from one another. We're definitely more active in Ohio at that time. So all of a sudden, we're all crammed together. We may not be exercising like we should. Then you throw in a big thing, and I just talked about this coming from Thanksgiving, is our stress of the holidays. Sleeping wherever we may go vacation, and just basically our entire world is flipped upside down for a good month until Christmas and New Year's are over. Then I have to bring into the fact, what about the toxins that we're putting in our body? Typically gorging ourselves with food, high sugar food, dyes, things like that can also upset our body. What I find in practice is a lot of people end up being really inflamed during these times. Even palpating up somebody's spine, they seem to be a little more tender because of these things. So be mindful of those changes. They're going to happen. Try to maybe just make a little, not gorge yourself, but maybe make some more conscious effort of what are we eating, what are we drinking. The biggest thing, number one, here's your first freebie, is make sure you're drinking a plenty amount of water, staying hydrated. Again, our golden rule is half your body weight in ounces of water. That allows us to flush out our system, flush out toxins, and again, keep your muscles and everything hydrated. So that's our first thing. On top of that, you heard me reference sunlight earlier and vitamin D3. This is from a Harvard University study that they know D3 can help kill flu viruses. You try to also pair that with vitamin K as well. Another one here, you'll hear me talk about this a lot, is actually zinc. Vitamin D3 and zinc are traditionally my favorite two that I recommend, even though, and yes, it'll be on here, vitamin C, things like airborne, emergency, you hear that so pushed, vitamin C, but actually there's a lot more research that supports vitamin D3 and zinc. So zinc, fun fact there for you, is a antibacterial as well. Another one, turmeric, one of my big favorites, especially as an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, antioxidant. Turmeric can actually help lower inflammation. Amongst all the other things that I mentioned there, that's one of the biggest things that we also recommend to patients if they feel like they're really inflamed or if you're in really achy, is a turmeric supplement. The next two, actually foods. Garlic and lemon, actually, both of which are antibacterials. So again, lemon, I always try to add some of that to like water. That'll actually also help make it more alkalinic. And then garlic, yes, I have done this, but you can just eat raw cloves of garlic. You can cook it up a little bit. I've seen even people put it with honey and take it as well. A lot of tremendous health benefits to that. Maybe you might want to follow that up with a mint though, so you don't have bad breath. And then the last one that I'm going to bring up here as well is a probiotic. Again, that helps our immune system, our digestion system, and may help decrease some symptoms. In the essence that you do get sick, and it does happen to be potentially bacterial, and if you're given an antibiotic, we try to strongly urge patients to follow that up with probiotics, so it helps get the good bacteria back into your gut. So those are probably my top 6 to 7 supplements. I personally take vitamin D3 and zinc and vitamin C on a daily basis. These are things that I would always recommend just having in your cabinet if you don't take them on a regular basis. But again, especially during these holidays where we're not in our normal routine. Exercise. Constantly stay moving. Again, being in the Midwest, being in Ohio, as I mentioned earlier, the weather, and we typically just seclude ourselves to inside. So make sure you're at least trying to get to the gym, doing about 30 minutes of activity daily. Ideally, minimum would be 5 days a week, in my opinion. But again, your takeaways: drink as much water as you can. Rule of thumb: half your body weight in ounces of water. Supplements, be mindful of those. Make sure you have them readily available. Maybe even start supplementing through these winter months. Third thing there as well, I think I mentioned exercise at the very end. And then the last one, again, what I see in practice, the patients who have been with us for a very long time, years, we traditionally see them give us feedback that chiropractic adjustments and being on a regular schedule, they've actually been less sick. And even in allergy seasons, yes, I'm referencing cold and flu, but we see their immunity increase as well from our patients' feedback. Even, typically they get this yearly cold at said time. We've actually seen them come back and say, hey, I used to have this for the last 10 years. Hasn't been happening since I've been under care. And then even if we get a good jump on it, you feel like you're coming down with something, maybe get an extra adjustment in there, and we've actually seen patients spin totally back around. One of the other things I will mention on this as well, make sure you get your rest and get enough sleep. That's when our body can actually start healing itself, and regenerate. So making sure, especially through the holiday season, you are getting your rest regardless of traveling. And again, holiday, family parties for work, things like that. So I hope you found some of this beneficial and some of this information, good little nuggets and takeaway points. These are the things I usually recommend all times when we talk about cold and flu subjects. So we'll look forward to seeing you next week for our next Spinal Workshop topic. Again, if you're traveling and these holidays, we hope that you travel safe, spend great time and fun times with your family. And then we'll really look forward here in the next couple weeks when we get to turn to 2024, our whole new year of Spinal Workshop topics. Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.